Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Power Boost. Today, we are going to talk about karma and conscience. When we perform any wrong action, then definitely there is an inner voice. Our conscience bites us. Conscience is nothing but like an inner gauge that helps us recognize what the normal state is, what we call the balanced state of truth is in the spiritual context. And I'm going to use this word. It is like, the angel within, which is our normal, natural state, um, is what is the balanced state or our truth is. And so, for example, when water is boiled, then although it is heated up, it does come back to its natural state of coolness. And similarly, when a seesaw is, uh, in a natural normal state, then it is balanced. There is a fulcrum there which keeps us balanced. And similarly, the angel within every human being inside of us, we know what the right thing to do is. And the natural state of all of us is an angelic stage. And that is the stage that we call here at the Brahma Kumaris as the state of being in true identity. That is the true self, the one who's living, conscient, tiny point of light. He is actually full, does not need anything because he knows he's immortal, he's eternal being, a being of fullness. And hence, whatever he does is righteous because it's not coming from a space of neediness. When one commits sins or falls into vices or some kind of wrong action, addictions, when one feels that he's missing something, lacking something, it comes from a space of neediness and wanting something. And that is what we call at the Brahma Kumaris as the false identity. That is something that creates a demon within and creates a karma that results in sorrow. So while the angel performs righteous karmas and hence elevated karma is accumulated, but the karma created by this demon within, it results in sorrow. And while at any given point of time, the mind can be ruled by either the angel or the demon, right? So the angel is always keeping a check on every action, and so is the demon keeping a check on the action. So the angel speaks up whenever a wrong action is being done, but the voice starts to become bleaker and weaker if one starts to ignore the angel, and the demonic voice becomes more dominant that no, this needs to be done, this needs to be gotten, for example. So it's more, you may have noticed, it's more difficult to do something wrong the first time. And once that boundary, that line is crossed, then the subsequent times it becomes more and more easy. For example, if if you go to a shop and you pick up something, right? And you don't want to pay for it, then uh, you may do it the first time with a lot of caution, with a lot of, um, also guilt in your heart. But for whatever reason, there is a neediness, there is a lack and missing, and hence we do that. But the subsequent times, it becomes more and more easy. That means that conscience, the fulcrum of the conscience, right? The angel is becoming weaker. The fulcrum of the conscience starts to as if shift towards negativity more, towards the wrongdoing more, towards the demon more. And to have a clear conscience simply means to be in the true identity state where one can recognize what is true, what is not true, what is right, what is wrong, what will, be good for me, right? And when we have that clear conscience, then we are able to create good karma for ourselves. Otherwise, the other option that we have is this demonic mind, which is confused and performs negative karma. And as if the conscience becomes also confused, it is blurred, right? The inner gauge loses its credibility. The fulcrum, you know, of the natural state starts to shift in the favor of the demon. And it takes us in a downward spiral. The fall starts to continue, right? Subsequently, it becomes easier and easier to perform that wrong action. So to bring the conscious back to its natural normal state, one has to start listening to the angel within and connect to the angel of angels, right? So the angel within is this true identity that we have forgotten of ourselves, we call soul, right? The tiny point of light. And also, the one who reminds us that we are angels is the angel of angels, the supreme angel, the supreme being, the supreme soul, the divine. So, he is the one who is clear about what truth is, and he reminds us of our angelic nature, our true nature, and brings us back on that angelic path. So, that is all that we need to do in order to create a good karma with a clear conscience. And very interesting, this connection between karma and conscience. So for the next few minutes, let us start to experiment with this new conscience. So we take a good sitting posture and we relax our body. Come into a gentle, normal, rhythmic breathing. We focus our mind on the tiny point, who is like an angel. This tiny point, the angel, he's aware that he belongs to a world that is very different from the physical world. Angels are shown to come from up above. They belong to the sky beyond the sky. Vast expanse of light is the home of the tiny point, the angels. In this world, the tiny point is in the experience of his own immortality. And the fact that he is beyond harm. Nothing and no one can harm him. That makes him feel so safe. And he is the living conscient being who doesn't even need the body. He's happy to use the body. But he doesn't need, he's not dependent for his existence on anything or anyone. He's just a tiny point without a body. He's the one who's content and full just because he is in his truth. He's peaceful, loveful, joyful, full because he's in the company of the angel of angels. Also looks like a tiny point is the supreme being, the divine. He's the one who reminds this tiny point of his own truth. The moment we come to our natural state, our inner attitude towards the physical world changes. Now we approach the people, possessions, objects, pets, money, etc., in the physical world with a very different attitude, which is of fullness, not neediness. That makes us clear. To have that clear conscience, to not call anything as mine, because in the first place, everything in the physical world, nothing can be claimed. It all has an end. So to have a clear conscience is to keep this truth distinctly clear in the mind. For an angel, it is clear. And so he comes to give, not take, comes to help in this physical world. That becomes a good karma. Very different from a mind which comes from neediness, wanting, lacking, missing. For the angel, it seems strange to call anything as mine and to want more of it. He's not interested in temporary things that bring him temporary happiness, peace, transactional love. He's very interested in going back to his truth of permanency and constancy. So his karma also becomes the greatest, highest quality of karma when that conscience is clear. All we need to do is to be in the right posture so that the fulcrum of the conscience stays in the right place. That clarity of right and wrong stays in right there. So for the rest of the day, we will keep coming back to our angelic self. The true identity state. A point of light. Om Shanti. Thank you. And have a very good rest of the day.